"What's wrong, Maddie?" Miss Riley asked. Nothing," I lied, dabbing my paintbrush into a pot of shimmery blue. After my conversation with Matt, I'd skip study hall and retreated to the library to work on my manga. I knew I must look a mess, but I couldn't help it. All I could think of was what Matt had revealed. Sir Leo was Chad. Chad was Sir Leo. It was like a beautiful dream and a horrific nightmare all rolled into one. My mind whirled in never-ending circles over the situation, and I still had no idea what I was supposed to do about it. Should I tell Chad I was Allura? What would he say? Would he be happy or totally weirded out? Would he still want to date me in real life like he'd mentioned in the game? Or would he be horrified that his online gamer girl turned out to be real-life freak girl? What if he reacted like I had when I thought Sir Leo was mad? I didn't think I could take the disappointment in his beautiful blue eyes when he found out the truth. And I knew I couldn't take the rejection that would follow the disappointment. Sure, he stood up for me in class, even got into a fight with his best friend over it all. But just because he felt bad for me did not mean he'd want to date me. He was Chad Murray, after all. He could have anyone in school. Why would he waste his time with little old me? "Your book is coming out beautifully," my teacher commented, studying my picture. "You must be almost ready to turn it in." "Yeah," I said. "The judging is on Sunday at the Boston Public Library, so I've got to be done by then." I rinsed my paintbrush and then chose a vibrant red for Allura's robe. "I'm not painting every scene, though," I explained. "Most of it can stay in black and white. I just figured I'd do a cool cover for it." "Makes sense. Whatever you can do to make your entry stand out is a good thing." Miss Riley picked up one of the pages and studied it. It was from the final chapter of the book, the one where Allura goes back into the game to ask Sir Leo if he'll return with her to the real world. Because even though at this point she's vanquished the bullies through her superpowers and made 1,000,000 new friends and is no longer the freak girl outcast at her school, there's still something missing for her. Life isn't complete without her true love by her side. In the book, of course, Sir Leo is overjoyed to return to Earth with his gamer girl. The jury was still out on my own happy ending, and that made it nearly impossible for me to get up the energy to finish the final panel. The one where Sir Leo is supposed to sweep Allura into his arms and kiss her sweetly, declaring his undying love for his all-powerful, beautiful gamer girl. It was one of the most important drawings in the entire book, and yet I couldn't bring myself to work on it. I just kept thinking that my real-life love story might not end that way. "I think you have a good chance, Maddie," Miss Riley observed. "I really do. I know as a teacher I'm supposed to say encouraging things like that, but in this case it's the truth. Your drawings are just as good, if not better, than what I've seen in bookstores. And your storyline is a lot of fun, too." "Thanks." A lump formed in my throat, and I struggled to swallow it down. She was so nice, and she'd done so much for me. Why couldn't I be more appreciative? Why did my brain keep wandering back to Sir Leo Chad territory? She set down the page and looked at me pointedly. "So, now do you mind telling me what's wrong?" she asked, her voice leaving little room for argument. I set down the paintbrush and scrubbed my face with my hands. Maybe I should just tell her. It was too hard to keep it all inside, eating away at me. And if anyone would understand, it would probably be Miss Riley. "Allura and Sir Leo," I began, pointing at the characters on the page. They're based on my playing Fields of Fantasy." Miss Riley nodded. "I figured maybe," she said with a small smile. "My dad gave me the game about a month ago for my birthday, so I could play with him because my parents are divorced now." "Right, I remember you telling me that." "Yeah, except he's never online," I frowned. "Or he's too busy with his other friends to play with me. So I started playing with this other kid, Sir Leo." I pointed to this character. "And we started to get to know each other really well." "Right. This guy, he's not pressuring you to meet him, is he?" Miss Riley said, going all worried adult on me for a moment. "Well, yeah, but it's not like you're thinking. He's not some dirty old man." "How do you know?" "Because he goes here. I figured out who he is." Relief washed over her face. "Okay, that's good. I was worried for a moment you were going to say you had some kind of weird online predator." She cocked her head. "So, why are you upset?" "'Cause he's one of the haters." "The haters?" The corner of Miss Riley's lips curled into a smile. "Who are the haters?" You know, Billy and his crew. They're popular, but total bullies. Miss Riley nodded. Ah, those guys. So your Sir Leo is one of them? I hung my head. Yes, it sucks. I like him so much, and in the game he likes me back and he wants to meet me, but if he found out who I am... You think he'd go running in the other direction. Right. I waited for Miss Riley to give typical adult advice about my being a beautiful girl, one any guy would be lucky to have, but she didn't. Instead, she sat looking thoughtful for a moment, then nodded her head. I can see your dilemma, she said. You want to keep playing, but you're afraid if he finds out the truth, your virtual romance will end. Yeah, I nodded. You probably think I'm being stupid, huh? Not at all, but at the same time, you can't just go on like this. You'll drive yourself crazy. I think I already have. You really don't have any choice but to tell him, Miss Riley said. Let him know who you are. You never know. He may surprise you. Yeah, right. Well, you obviously see something in him that's special, right? Something that's made you fall for him? So how about you give him a little credit? Give him a chance to make good. And if he turns you down, well, then at least you know. And you can move on. And if he doesn't, well, this could be the start of something really great, no? Yeah, but you're afraid of losing him. I get it. It's scary to imagine the guy you love running in the other direction. And I'm not saying it might not happen. But think about it. What do you have to lose? Nothing but a fantasy world that you've conjured up in a virtual reality game and in your head. Yeah, I guess. I stared down at the cover. Alora's shooting fire from her fingers, vanquishing the bullies with a self-satisfied smirk. If only I could channel some of her confidence. I just want him to like me, you know? And it seems impossible that he would. Maddie, listen to me, Miss Riley said firmly. I know it's hard to believe, but not all the kids who run with the popular crowd are the same. Some are really good people who just get mixed up in a scene and aren't strong enough to break away or stand up for themselves. As long as it's not Billy Henderson himself, she laughed. Then I think you may have a chance. I nodded slowly. What she said was true. After all, there were all those nights when Sir Leo and I had chatted about the problems he had standing up for himself in front of his friends. And he had done it. Sold out his friend. Stuck up for a girl he thought he barely knew. Taking my advice without knowing it'd come from me. Maybe he would surprise me. Maybe he'd even be really psyched that it was me. I firmed my resolve. Miss Riley was right. No matter what the ultimate answer turned out to be, I had to know for sure either way. When I got home from school today, I'd log on and tell Sir Leo the truth. Tell him who I really was and see what happened next. Like my gamer girl, I had to risk it all for love.